Studio mic. Does that work? Can anybody hear me now? Just wondering if I've had to amend this setting. Let me know. Bam-ba-dum. All right. I'm gonna... Oh, perfect. Right, so you can hear me now. Right, perfect. Perfect. So it turns out, because I use multi-channels on... So if I switch to this, you'll be able to hear me. I use multi-channels on the audio for when I'm recording, so I have the audio separated, and obviously I have to select channel 1 for it to come through on the mic still. Right, cool. Well, 25,000 subscribers. Thank you very much. It's been a slow one. I started the channel in 2013 and uploaded a video in 2013, just one video, and that were it, gone. But I did start a full-time job coming out of university, so it kind of got sidelined and never really thought I was going to do anything with it. And then probably around 2017, 2018, started going a bit more serious about it. So that's yeah, that's what we've been doing. And you can see where the channel is at now. So how's the audio, by the way, in terms of the mic? You can't hear the aircon, can you? Because I need to have it on. If not, it's going to be a warm one. But just let me know. I'll see it there. So just ask anything away in the comments. I'm happy to answer any questions. I'm going to be on for an hour and a half or something like that. And just make some presets. So I'm going to be using June today, just because I haven't done a June Trance Essentials essentially for this. So I'm going to be working on getting some classic and some modern style stuff going in here. So let me know if you have any questions. Just check there. Cool. Right. I'll give it a few seconds to catch up. So, 25k, there's nothing really much different from the time before, if you know what I mean. When I was at 21, it's just the same atmosphere. We've got the same amount of people coming in. Obviously, we've got more subscribers, but we've just got that interaction, and it's just every day that I get better and teach you new things. Hopefully, you're getting better at what you do, and obviously, I'm working towards now offering a little bit more over on the website in terms of tutorials. So obviously I've got that vital learning synthesis course on there and stuff. So there's a whole raft of things that I'm going to be doing. It's just getting settled down. There's been a lot going on in life. First video that you watched was on Acid in Synth 1. Yes, Synth 1. Something I don't think I can use on Mac now. I might be wrong, but it's just something that I think there was something wrong with the particular version of Cubase I had at the time, so probably 12 or something. There were just a few issues, but maybe I can run that again at some point, because it is a nice little synth. But we've got things like Diva now. We've got the Jup from Arturia for the JP8000. This beautiful piece of kit here. So there is a lot in place of it, but Synth 1 is free. So, right, so let's just make some random stuff. So, I say random. If we just take a look at this, I'm just building this with the Diva pack that I've just released, and I'm going to be using this as the basis for building some of the presets for June. So essentially what we're doing here, I'm just building on sort of the classic idea, but infusing it with some of the style that I have, because I'm wanting to start obviously releasing tracks as well. So I'm just trying to get the direction that I'm wanting to go, because obviously I came from the beginnings of trance in terms of a listener as a person growing up, and then sort of like it's evolved, sort of like fell out of love with trance sort of in that late 2010s into the early 2010s, so should we say the late 2000s to the early 2010s, but then it all sort of came back round, and I think we're back in a good place. We're back in the roots of classic infused stuff. So I love it. It was. Synth 1 was a good starter synth. But we've got, again, it's still a great synth now, but we've got a lot more on the plate now in terms of free synths. So there's a lot of options there for you to learn from. Don't forget, guys, ask away in the comments if you want to know anything, but let's just build some presets. So I'm just going to get this looping. So I'll just walk you through what I'm doing until some questions come through. So when I'm building things in June, I tend to use the wavetable. Like the virtual analog is good for some presets, but when it comes to just getting a little bit more of that sort of like natural zest, I tend to go for the vintage saw or anything that I can import that resembles something from a vintage synth, just to get that sort of like classic sound. So we're going to use the vintage saw here, and we've got sort of a sharper saw and a little bit more of a smoother saw at that position. So I'm going to add in 6 voices over here. So these are the layers. I've got a June series over there. I'm not going to explain it, but it just helps thicken the sound up. Yes. So Union, I did make a few patches for Union in the good old days, but now Union is part of the collection on Plugin Boutique, I think. It's not called Union anymore, but it's got a nice new flavour to it. I can't remember what it is, but that's where it is. But yes, it was a good sounding synth, but Vital obviously has blown everything out of the water in terms of features. It kind of give you a mini serum for free, and it's a good platform to learn on, because once you've learned Vital, you can sort of move on and apply your knowledge to any synth, really. They just have their own little quirks. Right, so what essentially we've got here is we've got 5 voices on oscillator 1, but then we have used the voice section here, the voice edit section, to add 6 layers of that oscillator. So essentially we've got 6 engines working at once here, and we can edit each section here. That's the solo buttons, but we can edit each one here, so we can offset the fine tune. So let's just say 1 is there, 2 is over a bit. Because we've got 6, they sort of automatically pan. So if we was to just choose number 1, it's going to be more to the left. Voice 6 is going to be more to the right. And then voice 3 essentially is going to be down the middle. So I tend to like offset the tunings for either side and then leave that center frequency, that center layer as it is. So let's do number 2 here. So I've already done that one. I'm going to skip to 4. I'm just picking some random values here, just to give it a little bit more flavor. So 3 and 4 essentially are the middle point of that. You'd have to do 7 to get sort of like a middle point. So let's just offset 3 as well. So then from that point, we have the option to detune these voices in this section, or we can detune the oscillator a little bit more, which will sort of filter through those 6 layers. So you can see this detune over here is more of the voice spread, whereas this detune is more of the layer spread. So you're getting a little bit extra on there, and it's a very powerful feature for June 3. I'm not trying to sell June 3 here, but it is severely underrated in some cases because people's lack of understanding of how this section works here. What have we got? So, yes, I know the video's stuttering. Just make sure that's working. Yeah, so the internet here is a bit rubbish. So if it continues, I'm going to have to go back home and I'll have to do a live stream just from my laptop screen and use my laptop thing. So if that's going to be the case, then I will dip out and just join me back in about 10 minutes and we'll do that. And see if that improves, because the internet down here is just rubbish. Usually I can get away with it, but because there's a business running downstairs as well, if they're using the internet, it just throws it off. I've never had this issue because obviously I've always done my work from home. So let me know if that does continue. So in terms of releases, I know that this question was going to be asked. In terms of releases, there is stuff that I've released on my own just in the past, but I haven't got anything as a professional yet. The only reason is I've been sort of like 100% tunnel visioned on getting the business off the ground, because I only started this in 2019, maybe 2018. Can't remember. No, 2019 I started this, and I got made redundant from the job that I was in, and then here we are with what I'm doing. So I've been hyper focused on getting the business off the ground, getting and honing my skills on synthesis and that sort of design, the YouTube, and I've never really focused on the music aspect of it. So I've got loads of tracks made, and it's just a case of getting them polished off and getting them done. We could deep dive into one maybe at some point and just go through, but I think it's more, I need to get a little bit of guidance here and there just on certain parts just to make sure that I'm on the right path. But yeah, no releases at the moment. But there is rumours floating around that I am a ghost producer, so make as you wish with that one. Anyway, jumping back in. I think one of the best things about June for me here as well is the fact that, one, we can reorganize these effects here, but we can send it to both, so we can have those two delays but times 4, so we could have 4 delays if we so wish to do so. It just gives you more flexibility to, say, do the delay and the reverb, and then the second effects bus you could be using for the distortion, just to keep things separate. So I like to have the stuff where I'm colouring the sound in one section and where I'm sort of adding the bits that make it shine in the other one. So delays, reverbs, the compression, stuff like that. So I like to keep them separate, but that's just how I work. So I'm going to bring... technically, we'll go for this. So I'm end up making a lead here, so just just keep checking these comments, making sure that you can see. Yeah, I think I am gonna restart this at home. Right, give me 10 minutes to get back home, get set up. It's just going to be a one-screen setup. Obviously, I'm using this on the other screen, so I'll have to just deal with that. But it's going to give you a better experience, so leave it with me. I'll see you in 10 minutes. Really sorry about this. Can't do anything about the internet.